Welcome to the 2021 Heritage Fair, brought to you by Heritage Patrimoine Cornwall in partnership with your TV Cogeco. Due to the pandemic, the annual fair at Cornwall Square has been cancelled for February 20th, but in its place, we have this series for you. Today's features UE Bridge Annex, the Bishop's House, and the Cornwall Community Museum.
Hi, my name is Jennifer DeBruin, and I'm a member of UE Loyalist Bridge Annex, the first virtual branch of the United Empire Loyalist Association of Canada. UELAC actually has members worldwide, and in fact, Bridge Annex is probably about 50% members from the US. So we welcome everybody, and we believe that everybody has a part to play in the contribution to our ongoing story. I'm proud to say that I am the co-chair of the UELAC 2021 annual conference, and we've also created a historical event. I, along with my co-chair Patricia Groom, and our committee have been hard at work for many months putting together a dynamic conference weekend for May 2021. Now, as you might imagine, we've had some changes because of the pandemic. But Bridge Annex was actually built on a foundation of evolution and meeting the challenges of engagement. And so the virtual conference has actually morphed into a really exciting opportunity for us, full of many different features that we think that you'll find really exciting. The people who settled in Cornwall and SD&G in particular came heavily from a place called the Mohawk Valley. And there you'll find along the Mohawk River places like Johnstown, which is interesting because although we know Cornwall as Cornwall today, it was known as New Johnstown in 1784 when the United Empire Loyalists came up to resettle and start again. We're proud to announce that one of the major projects as part of UELAC 2021 is creating a physical memorial to John Baker. John was born enslaved to the Grey family, a Loyalist family who eventually settled in Cornwall. But he went on to become a hero of the War of 1812, fighting in some of the most pivotal battles, including the battles of Lundy Lane, and also being injured at Sackett's Harbor. John's life story is incredible, and it's an important local story to tell. So we decided that it was time for him to have a physical memorial where people could come to understand who he was. In addition, it is important to recognize Indigenous allies who helped fight this war on behalf of King George III and assisted many of our ancestors to get to Canada safely. So we recognize all the diverse cultures that had experiences during this time, and not one experience can sum up that of the United Empire Loyalists. But that's why UELAC 2021, the conference and historical virtual event that we're hosting, will provide you with an opportunity to explore the many complexities of our history and be able to understand how we fit into the story, whether you're connected to the Loyalists or not. But you don't have to wait till May, because we've created a speaker series that we think you'll find very engaging. This will be a presentation series with one speaker a month, February, March, and April, which will explore histories that have complexities to them and have reach over to how we see society today. You'll be able to participate in the live presentations by our 4 renowned presenters and ask questions of them during the moderated Q&A afterwards. In addition, some of us will be on the ground having live broadcasts throughout the weekend. So those virtual tours that you'll be taking, you'll find that there are live stops in which you can interact with us. So if you want us to walk over to a particular gravesite or historical space, we can do that and we can answer your questions live. And we look forward to your participation in creating a great ongoing story.
We're on the front balcony of the Bishop's House, a National Historic Site in downtown St. Raffles at the heart of Glengarry County in far eastern Ontario. This house was built in 1808, 212 years ago, by the Big Bishop, Reverend Alexander MacDonnell, a very important figure in the early days of Ontario, Upper Canada as it was then. He was a parish priest here at St. Raffles for 25 years, but really his parish was all of Upper Canada. He built his house here, and he built the great church of St. Raffles that's across the King's Road from here. But he also founded parishes and churches and schools across the province, dozens of them, and he convinced the government to support them. He was made a bishop in 1819, the first bishop of Upper Canada, but really, he'd been in charge all along.
So when was this settlement established, and what was it?
Well, it was a Highland settlement. The 500 Highlanders who came to St. Raffles in 1786, which was about 20 years before the big bishop arrived. The settlement was making good progress when he arrived. It was big. It covered a lot of ground, 3 concessions in Charlottenburg Township, 3 concessions in Lancaster, and the full width of Glengarry County from Quebec to Stormont County.
And what did he do in this settlement?
Well, at its heart was the village of St. Raffles, and it was there that the big bishop went to work. He first built his great stone house, where we're sitting right now, completed in 1808, the bishop's house it's called now. And on the heels of that, across the King's Road, he built the great church, the great stone church of St. Raffles, the great church in the wilderness it was called, completed 1821 with towering stone walls and room for 1,000 people. The church served the community for 150 years until the summer of 1970. It caught fire and it burned. But the Glengarry community was not in any way willing to let it go, and there was over the following years, there was a community effort to preserve the ruins, to stabilize them, to secure them, and what we have today, just across the road here in St. Raffles, is one of the most striking and stirring structures in Ontario and indeed in all of Canada, the ruins of St. Raffles Church. He started the first college, the first seminary in Upper Canada, in 1817, and he called it the College of Iona, which is in honor of the little island off the west coast of Scotland that's been a center of religion and study since the 6th century. The name was used again in 1912 when the bishop's house housed Iona Academy, which was a combination of high school for local boys and girls and boarding school for girls. It was a well-regarded institution, and in 1924, with attendance growing, 2 massive wings were added to the building, designed by a very accomplished Montreal architect, Raoul Garriépi. The school thrived well into the 1970s. Things got spotty after the school closed. By the 2000s, the building was all but abandoned. Fortunately, the Glengarry community was no more willing to let this building go than it was willing to let the ruins of St. Raffles go. And in 2005, it was the Glengarry-based non-profit citizens group called Glengarry Fencibles Trust was formed with the sole purpose of saving and repurposing the bishop's house.
Welcome to the Cornwall Community Museum, located at the foot of York Street in Cornwall's waterfront park. We are situated inside an 1840s Loyalist farmhouse that was relocated from about a mile west of here in the former Cornwall Township. Our facility is operated and equipped by the SD&G Historical Society. Please, come inside. These are high-end locally made pottery and lacrosse sticks, as well as hockey sticks manufactured in Martintown. The adjacent room's theme is historic small industry and includes an exhibit of carpenter's tools as well as tools that were used by a Cornwall blacksmith, Joseph Laundry. From there we enter the kitchen, which contains many cooking implements, as well as a 1900 cook stove. This everyday crockery contains a reference to our past. The Cornwall CW address refers to the period just prior to Confederation, when this was Canada West. Next, we enter the dining room. The Cornwall-made furniture is overlaid with commemoratives of the canal and subsequent St. Lawrence Seaway eras. Most of the china commemorates the official opening of the St. Lawrence Seaway via a royal visit from Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. The gentleman's study was a place to tend to one's business affairs, as well as a refuge to entertain the menfolk. One of our newer exhibits, titled God and Country, features a selection of artifacts from some of Cornwall's historic Christian churches and the Jewish synagogue on one side, while an assortment of militaria is showcased on the other side of the room. Our last main floor area, the ladies' parlor, features settees, a silver plate tea set, homemade hair wreaths, and a twist clock. The Victrola hand-cranked record player still operates. A municipal government section pertains to the former Cornwall Township Police Department, 4 of Cornwall's historic mayors, and the city's first female councillor, as well as the volunteer fire brigade. The bedroom features locally made furniture overlaid with locally made textiles. Heading down to a level that is 16 feet below the house, we find vintage signs, crockery, and a paper mill exhibit, which includes the top section of the Howard Smith paper mill totem pole. The Society's archives are also housed here and will soon boast of an enhanced research facility. With its abundance of natural beauty, picnic area, and monument to those affected by the Irish potato famine, the waterfront park is a popular spot with locals and tourists alike. And with our proximity to other waterfront amenities and to the downtown, the museum is truly at the heart of the city.